Welcome to the Woodshed with Cody Wood on the Equus Radio Network, where some amazing guests stop in, share their stories, and have a few laughs along the way. From the rodeo road to everyday life, it's all part of the ride. Here's your host, Cody Wood.
We are back live here once again on round number 6 here at the Wrangler National Finals Rodeo, live from the Virgin Hotel here on the Equus Radio Network, the Woodshed with Cody Wood. I've got another great guest here this morning, an opportunity just to learn a little bit more about one of the most impactful organizations that there are in the rodeo world and how you can, be a part of that and help impact these great rodeo families and make a difference in each and every one of their lives and in a big way. So looking forward to getting into it, kind of filling you in a little bit about what you can do and how you go about it. So right now, without further ado, this is Julie Jutten here, Director of the Justin Cowboy Crisis Fund. Julie, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I am doing good. I'm doing good.
Surviving the marathon that is NFR?
That's right. It is a marathon,
yes,
and it's we're just one day at a time. Almost lost track of the days of the round. But it's awfully fun, and there's no better place to be than Las Vegas during the NFR. That's for sure.
We love it out here. It's a great opportunity for our organization, but it's a great opportunity to come together as rodeo fans.
It is. It is. And when you see the town essentially transform into Cowboy Town, it's just there's no other vibe like it, that's for sure.
We have kind of kept it a secret for a long time with social media. I chuckle when I log through and see the reels. It's like, it's NFR time in Vegas, and they show the plane, and there's just cowboy hats stacked the whole way through the plane in the airport. So it's not a secret anymore. We are Cowboy Town here.
I know, it's almost, and the rodeo's almost taking the fashion piece of it, all the things. It's really gotten big, and I love every bit of it. Because the more rodeo fans we have, the better, and rodeo wise specifically, one of the great sports in the world, and one of the true last, if not the final, where the prize money, it's a prize fight, right? You don't get paid if you don't win, and there's no backup plan or plan B in a sense, and so these rodeo cowboys, they need a little bit extra support in a way, and the Justin Cowboy Crisis Fund has been one of the greatest organizations, one of the most visible logos, I would say, over the last 40 years or whatnot, and boy, you guys have impacted a lot of rodeo families.
Oh, we sure have. It's a great organization. It's a great charity. We often say rodeo it's like for the love of the game. These guys and gals are really putting it out there to make a living in rodeo for their career. And the JCCF has always been proud to do what we do. We have a very, very strict bylaws that really control how we give out our money, and it's certainly a worthy cause. So with that in mind, what we do is we help injured rodeo athletes. And so, unlike a professional NFL player, an NBA player, like they have contracts, right? So they get injured and they are still getting paid because they have a contract. Our guys and girls don't get that. These cowboys get injured and they're out. And in a lot of cases, that is their full-time income. And even if they have another job, sometimes their injury restricts them from working. And so the Crisis Fund steps in and helps with living expenses. We always say we don't want you to lose your house. We want your kids to be able to have food, and your horses are getting the care they need. And so we really step in and help with those monthly living expenses during that duration that a cowboy or cowgirl is out injured.
Yeah, that's such an amazing cause, and because for multiple fronts, right? Obviously, the actual direct impact of somebody getting injured, and then providing for the family as they bridge that gap to being able to compete again, but also on the forefront of it, when you talk about a bull rider, let's say, and their ability to kind of have that peace of mind, right, and to be able to go up and down the road and rodeo knowing that there's a team behind them that's got their back if something was to happen.
For sure. And we are sister companies with the Justin Sports Medicine team. So together we like to think that, the sports medicine team is I think there's less injuries in a lot of cases, or they're able to help get those guys into what they need to be doing to prevent injury or manage injury before it becomes a full-fledged, something that's going to sideline them. And so kind of in tandem with sports medicine team, I think we work nicely together, and it provides such a great resource for the cowboy.
Yeah. Yep. And like I said, down to their children and everything that impacts them. And And so, folks, when you're looking at JCCF and anywhere that might be able to utilize your additional giving money and that sort of thing, when you're talking about some of the funds, I mean, it's around $10 million. Is that right? Around $10 million that y'all have given out over the course of these years, and almost 1,400 families, or what do those numbers look like? I mean, that's a big impact.
Yeah, it's incredible, really, that we've raised and given out that much money. We're really blessed to say that 100% of our donations go to our mission. So, with the support of the Justin Boot Company and the Professional Rodeo Cowboys Association, they cover all administrative costs and/or donated services that you need to run an organization, which allows us to do 100% of every donation we get to our Cowboys. And that's another way that our charity, I think, is really appealing to people, because so many organizations, and we understand it, we're just really blessed that we don't have to take out administrative costs, because you do have costs. You have to keep your website up and running so people can make donations, and you need to do some promotion, and there's always some expenses involved in running a charity. So we're really blessed that the PRCA and Justin Boots takes that on for us. But knowing, a donor knows that 100% of their money is going to actually go to our cause and there's no overhead. It's hard to say no to that.
Yeah.
Especially to support the cowboy way of life.
Yeah,
so
sure.
I think a lot of people, we get a lot of donations from people who stumble across rodeo. They go with their visiting family and they go to their local rodeo, and maybe there's a little accident or something in the arena, and then they hunt us out. They're like, how does this work? And so they randomly find us, and we are blessed also with some financial planning and end of life giving. And so we often, I'd say every year even, we'll get named in a will of a person with zero connection to rodeo.
Really?
That they have discovered our charity, they've discovered our cause. We're really proud of the work we do, and we've got a great rating, and we strict with what we do. And so just randomly, these people, I think they go to a rodeo, get exposed to it, see what these guys are doing, and it's just natural give for people. So we're really lucky that happens.
Yeah, that's amazing. And just like you said, you talk about peace of mind, the peace of mind when you are giving, knowing, one, that 100% of it's going, and two, that it's being utilized appropriately. I mean, that's a big thing in itself, because people, I think, naturally want to give, and to have that peace of mind that they're giving to such a great cause and it's getting, utilized appropriately is great, and when you look at some of the athletes that have benefited from this, it's the biggest athletes in the world, I mean, like the Dusty Tuckness, the Leighton Berry, I mean, the list goes on and on. That has allowed those athletes to get, back to competition level and allow, these rodeo fans to see them performing at their highest level. And so it's just so imperative and trickles down in so many different ways.
Unique to our sport, I think, and maybe I'm just so ingrained in it that I think it's special to us, but a lot of times these cowboys and cowgirls don't want to apply. They're familiar with their friends who may not be as blessed as they are or have different situations. And so a lot of times these injured cowboys don't want to apply. And so we don't force anyone to apply, of course, but we want, if we haven't heard from you and you had an injury that's notable, if you have an injury that's treated by the sports medicine team, we get a weekly report from them. So I kind of know who's getting injured, what that injury looks like. Is it going to sideline them? And so we will reach out on occasion to say, hey, I see you're going to be out for 6 months. I haven't had an application. Just want to make sure we're here. And a lot of guys just need a little prompting, because I think, we all see and have friends that have different experiences and situations than us. And you feel like, there's somebody worse off that could maybe need that. And I don't want to take from that. But the JCCF board is really proud of the work that we do. And we just want to be there as a resource. Again, we want you to we want you to stay out the whole time that you're injured. We don't want you to feel pressured to go back before your doctor releases you, because if you go back before your doctor releases you, you're going to get injured again, or maybe add an injury onto it. And so our hope is that by the way we do our application process and provide assistance, and we have an extension program. So, if your doctor says you're out for 3 to 4 months, you go in for your follow-up and they're like, you need 1 more month. We don't want you to go back until you're ready. So we have an extension program to try to ease that and make sure that they stay out until they're ready to go back. And then it's their choice after that. But it is available to them. And I think that that's something that the board takes a lot of time and energy reviewing every case and making a determination.
Yeah, and just the fact that you would be proactive enough to even reach out and say, just a reminder, hey, we're here, that also, I think, speaks volumes for somebody who, like I said, is looking to give and to find the right organization for them. I mean, that just goes to show you where your heart's at, and where the opportunity lies, again, that the money's being utilized so great. And when you're looking at, kind of the beginning part of it, so, I've always kind of been curious, like obviously Justin has done such a great job as a whole for all these times, whether it's the sports medicine or the Cowboy Crisis Fund. How did that come together, I guess, with Justin Boots, the PRCA, the WPRA? I mean, I'm just kind of curious on how that all came together and became what it is now.
Yeah, I mean, it really has a great story for both programs, really kind of derived from Dr. J. Pet Evans, who is a kind of an infamous sports orthopedic, that ended up having a passion for rodeo, and he lived in the Fort Worth community, and Justin is headquartered there. And so sort of just through like natural steps, both programs were founded. And Justin Boots is really a leader in the industry on that front. They take the well-being of the cowboy very seriously. And I think it's very evident, not just in the support that they provide rodeos around the country and with their sponsorship of PRCA, but these two programs specifically, I think are a testament to their view on the importance of the cowboy way of life. And I think for most of us who work in this industry, we can look around and see that, in some parts of the country, it's kind of a dying thing. It's, ranches aren't as prevalent. Cowboys are, hard to find, and you could just go get a job in town, right? And so I think we're all thriving to educate people about our industry and what we do. And Justin, really, I admire them greatly for founding those programs and continuing to fund them all these years later. It's incredible work.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to kind of, it's really a testament to them as a company. I mean, they obviously have an amazing brand and have been extremely successful for a long time. It's not, again, like they have to do this. They're doing it out of their generosity in their hearts as well. Yeah. So it's really kind of really cool and interesting to look at. And so, you've got a lot going on out here in Vegas, and taking advantage of a lot of opportunities and getting things started. But there's ways to enjoy JCCF out here, to give, and how is the NFR treating you as a whole?
Yeah, it's been good. This is one of our busiest seasons for raising money because we've all converged here in Vegas, and everyone is watching what's happening at the arena, and it is a natural time for us to raise money. And so we do about 6 or 7 fundraisers during I call it 2 weeks. For us, we come out early for the PRCA does their convention. Yep. So all the rodeo committees come into town before the NFR starts. So there's some opportunities to raise money with that group. We've done several auctions. We do a really fun bowling tournament. It's sponsored by Boyd Gaming. It's the first Saturday of NFR. If you don't go, you have to come. It's like this great little decompression day. You get 2 hours. It's casual, it's fun, everyone has a great time. We raise about $15,000 there in 2 hours, which is fantastic.
Is that at the South Point?
It is not, it's at Boyd, it's at the Orleans.
Oh, the Orleans.
Yeah, the Orleans, Boyd, yeah. Boyd Gaming sponsors, it's bounced back and forth, but they're the primary sponsor, so at a Boyd property. And then a few other fundraisers we do. We're still gearing up, we've got one more to go. It's our biggest one out here. It's the Pro Rodeo League of Women Style Show and Luncheon. It is hosted at the South Point. We have about 800 to 900 fans come in, and we put on a fashion show, and we've got some live entertainment. We do live auction and silent auction, and it's a great event. And this is the ladies' luncheon, but we have a few brave men who come. So if the men haven't come, you definitely have to come. It's a great time. Everyone has fun, and it's a great way to really celebrate. It's a long-standing event. It's in its 40th year. So there's still an opportunity to go for that, and for those in the live audience, we do have some tickets available still at ProRodeoLeagueOfWomen.com. But that, speaking of those events, that is how we raise most of our money, is through people putting on events for us. So we rely on the generosity of the rodeo community to raise money for us, because we don't have 100% of our money goes to our cowboys. And so for us to go in and directly put on fundraisers is very difficult. So we provide a lot of help and resources to anyone who's willing to put on a fundraiser on our behalf. And we've got some, we've got some great fundraisers that happen around the whole rodeo industry. We'll kick it off in Steamboat in January at the Cowboy Downhill.
Yeah, doesn't get much better than that.
It's a wild event too. Have you been?
I have. Yeah.
Okay.
I grew up in Evergreen, Colorado, so and my dad was in the downhill. Actually, we have a big picture in our home of him off of a jump with a Shapson hat on it.
Love it.
I
love it.
Love the downhill.
Those events, those pictures are the best too, when they're flying off the jumps.
Yeah.
So we'll kick our we always kick off fundraising in the first of the year in Steamboat, but then we head to San Antonio for the stock show. They do a great golf tournament for us. We've got some winter ropings that happen, and they just raise a lot of money. And then pretty soon it'll be summer, and we're doing all of our summer fundraising. We get a lot of support from the rodeo committees themselves. There's a lot of ways you can put on your own fundraiser if you want. You can do a golf tournament, you can do a roping. We recommend for any committee that's wanting to raise some money to check with your ticketing agency. So whoever sells your tickets, for example, rodeoticket.com, they have a nonprofit portal. So it's just like one button they push in the ticketing system. And so when your ticket buyers come and purchase tickets, they can learn about the JCCF and they can make a donation at checkout. And it's so easy. These committees are strapped for help. They're putting on these events. They're volunteer. Most of them are volunteers. So they want to do something good. And so that's a great, easy way for a committee to support the fund.
Yeah.
And we're here to help with anyone who wants to put on a fundraiser. Just go to our website. My number's on there, and I'm happy to talk to you. And I've got a lot of good ideas for fundraisers. If anyone needs an idea, I've got a long list.
Just in the last 5 minutes, there's 3 or 4 different examples just right there. It's like you said, it's not just donating directly. There's a lot of different ways to give.
Right, and we do love the fundraisers. It's a great way to give, but there's also, the PR side of that. So just the recognition that the Crisis Fund gets in a community that they wouldn't get otherwise. And so maybe it doesn't result in a donation that day to the Crisis Fund, but that it plants a seed in somebody's head who was there, and they look us up. They go to a rodeo next month, and I meant to look that up. And so it's just you can't put a value on that PR, but we appreciate it a lot. And there's always private donations too. We accept donations from any individual that does want to give. It's easiest to do it through our website at justincowboycrisisfund.org. You just make your donation right there online, and end of year giving is coming up. So we'll have a little push on that too, but there's just a lot of ways to support it.
Yeah, there really is. And I, like I said, the ability to impact, not just the best in the world. We're talking anybody and everybody. And I read that it doesn't even necessarily have to be a PRC or WPRA member in some cases, but and so anybody that might have been in a rodeo family before and has any inclination of how tough it is in this sport, it's rewarding to give any time to the JCCF. And so yourself, were you in this field before? How did it come about? Were you in rodeo? How did it come about to you being the director for Justin Cowboy Crisis Fund?
I grew up on a ranch as a child, and my parents owned the farm supply store in town. And I studied sports marketing in school, and I was in school in Colorado, and ended up with a job at the Pro Rodeo Hall of Fame, and kind of moved around up into PRCA and did marketing and industry outreach and a few other jobs I held there over my time at the PRCA, which was close to 20 years. And I left in 2019 and opened up my own marketing agency. And so I work for a lot of rodeos, and I produce a lot of events, rodeo and non-rodeo. And so when I was with PRCA, I helped with the Justin Cowboy Crisis Fund. And so there just became an opportunity that they were looking for somebody to run it. And I had previously been involved. And so my agency runs it now, and we just love it. It's a soft spot in my heart. We have so many there's just so many stories, and I don't like to name the cowboys and cowgirls by name. I let them really tell their own stories, but just a lot of, one kid I remember said, I called and said the board has voted and approved you some assistance, and he was really emotional about it because he was a young kid, unmarried, just out of college, trying to rodeo, and he could go buy food for his dog, and I almost started crying. It was like just little things like that you don't think about, and then just making sure that these guys they always respond, they call, they text, they send letters, and you just know you're making a difference. And I'll take them with me to fundraisers and let them tell their own story, because really they're going to do a way better job of it than me. And usually there's just not a dry eye in the room when these guys talk about how appreciative they are of the help. And another, it's just the best, most rewarding job, because out here right now we have our tagline is a hand up, not a handout. And the Cowboys always show me that that's our best tagline. So they get assistance, and somewhere along the way they pay it back to us in some way. And this year, Tim O'Connell is an assistant. He's been on assistance, and that is public. He's publicly talked about that. And he and his wife own a company with a business partner where they manufacture these beautiful benches, like showstopper benches for like your house, just beautiful benches. So last year, to give back, they did an auction for us, and they contacted all of these rodeo contestants, and they worked with them to come up with the creative for this series of benches. And they did a silent auction last year, and it was great. We appreciated it, because that's a lot of extra work for him to take on with his family and their businesses. And this year they surprised us again, and they did it again. And so they're auctioning off 5 or 6 benches and this beautiful chandelier. They have a lighting company with their business partners as well. And it's just a reminder to us that JCCF it's a hand up, not a handout. And most of these guys, I can think of other examples. There's an athlete that does a viewing party for the NFR. He's a circuit cowboy. He's not ever qualified for the NFR, but he does a viewing party, and he raises money at that viewing party to donate back to JCCF every year. There's another NFR contestant that every year he qualifies. He does a shirt, like a T-shirt that he sells locally to his community, so they can support him, but then he donates the money to the Crisis Fund. And so it's just this concept that these guys really care, not just about themselves, but about their fellow contestants. It's a family. Yeah,
and it shows the impact that you all made on them.
Yes,
and what and to their credit too, just to have the heart of giving and to do it in a creative way, whether it's the benches or the shirts, and thinking outside the box and utilizing their gifts and an opportunity they've already got. I mean, that's such a great testimony to JCCF and to the rodeo world, in general, to be honest.
It's great. And we work with the best board. Our board of directors, they review every case. They put thought into it. They really we have a lot of medical folks on the board, and so there's a lot of discussion. Usually it goes over my head. I'm not a doctor, but I played one on TV. It's like they care, and they take their job seriously, and we're proud that we're good stewards of the money, and we're good stewards to our cowboys in need and cowgirls in need, and so it's great.
That's awesome. Well, it's great to get a chance to sit down with you and learn a little bit more about Justin Cowboy Crisis Fund and so many different ways to give. I mean, gosh, we've gone through a lot of them ours in that piece, but right here, like I said, it is obviously a heavy giving season here going into Christmas and everything else. And remind us again, when is the fashion show again?
It's this Thursday, the 11th, South Point at 11 a.m.
Oh, okay, good deal. And tickets are still available.
Tickets, you got to buy them in advance online. Okay. ProRodeoLeagueOfWomen.com or JustinCowboyCrisisFund.org.
Good deal.
I'll link you up there.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. And then, looking forward to seeing you throughout the week. Hopefully, get to see you again. But I sure do appreciate you coming in and then kind of chatting about it a little bit too, because there's a lot of people that have seen the brand for so many years, and it is a brand that honestly gives you kind of peace. Honestly, the psychology of sales and marketing, and it's definitely created its own identity in that way. And you guys have done such a great job, and just cannot thank you enough for just, being a part of this sport and helping these guys and gals, through their challenging times.
Well, thanks for having us here today. We are proud of our organization and honored anytime anybody wants to support us. So we're available. We appreciate you getting the word out for us. I think it is an iconic brand, but I think sometimes people are like, what do they do?
Yeah.
So,
and it's been around for so long now too, I think that sometimes people just need a little reminder, you still have to take the first step towards giving. And so folks, if you're out there, make sure to go to jccf.org. Is that
Justin Cowboy Crisis Fund?
Justin Cowboy Crisis Fund.org. But you can, donate directly there right now, and if you're here in Las Vegas and you have the opportunity to get tickets and go to the fashion show at the South Point on Thursday at 11, that would be a great time, a great opportunity to have fun and give at the same time, and in lots of different ways, so feel free to get a hold of Julie at any moment if you've got an opportunity with the rodeo committee or whatever the case may be, because these funds, 100% of them are going back to these great rodeo families and allowing them to continue to compete at the highest level, and for these rodeo fans to see them compete at the highest level. So, Julie, thank you again so much for being here with me. I really appreciate you and everything that you all do, and look forward to, seeing where this continues to grow. I think there's still a lot of opportunity out there in a couple of different ways. So, but thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Well, folks, that's going to do it again for another episode here of the Woodshed with Cody Wood on the Equus Radio Network. Again, thank you all for joining us with another great guest here in Julie and the Justin Cowboy Crisis Fund. Again, if you have an opportunity, go check out our Spotify, Apple, iTunes, all the different platforms as well. Continue all of our past episodes. And thank you so much again to Pete A. Turner, one of the great guys that help and provide such a great podcast opportunity. So if you're looking for a little bit of information there, please reach out to Pete as well. But for right now, we're looking forward to another great round number 6. It's going to be another great night of rodeo. And we'll see you again on the next episode here of the Woodshed with Cody Wood on the Equus Radio Network.
If you enjoyed the podcast, let us know. Contact Cody Wood at cody@equustelevision.net. Thanks for listening, and join us every week right here on the Equus Radio Network.